What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade basketball analysis coming to y'all with that quick video. Today we gonna talk about the Boston Celtics versus the Philadelphia 76ers. I do this for a living and I make videos and watch basketball for a living. So the funny thing about this was I felt like the Celtics, as you seen in my playoff prediction, was going to win this series against the Bucks. They had the better player in Giannis. He was the best player on the court. Chris Middleton, to me personally, had played an exceptional season. Was unguardable, shot high from the field, highly efficient from three in the mid range, and he was able to put up a couple 30-point games too. So I actually would go as far as saying they had the two best players on the court. I told you guys in that series it all depends on who they get from the others. Is Brogdon going to step up consistently? Is McCarr going to make that big of a difference? And how are they going to guard Tatum and Jalen Brown? Horford was always going to be a player that you never know what was going to get out of him. Some games he come out aggressive, some games he come out passive, and he came out aggressive in that game. But I definitely would say that I'm glad that we won. We play as a team. We play unified. Nobody is bigger than the team. Nobody is trying to, even though Rozier is playing for a contract, Jalen Brown feel like he should have been a star/slash all-star this year, and he was playing to prove people wrong. He had a good start, ended up having a rocky, mediocre finish, but they're going to have to do more. And the reason why I say that is because if you go against a team like Philly, it's going to be even tougher because they have good defenders. It's going to be hard for Rozier to score on Ben Simmons consistently because he likes the mid-range game. He likes the pull-up game. He likes the floater game, which is part of the mid-range game. And Ben Simmons is an athletic big that can, switch, go under screens, and still contestably have length and size over Rozier. Not only that, he's quick enough to stay in front of him, and he's long enough and big enough to still contest shots if he creates space. Another thing is Philly can actually shoot threes. I think the biggest thing to me about the Bucks series is you're not really scared about them scoring and lighting you up. They can blow you out if their defense is intact because they're kind of an inconsistent team. One minute they're a great offensive team, next minute no, they're a great defensive team. They just struggle to put it all together, and that's why I just couldn't pick them beating the Celtics because the Celtics play consistent. They play hard consistently, and the Bucks have always been up and down. But one thing I would definitely say is that with the Sixers, you don't really get that. They play a certain style, a certain way, even if they lose by it. They have way more three-point shooter. They have way more motion offensively. You have Bellinelli coming off screens. You have JJ Redick coming off screens. Dario Saric is a guy that can shoot the three at the perimeter, in the corner, or even put the ball on the ground and dribble and get to the basket and get to the free throw line, or create for others like Joel Embiid that might be in the paint for a lob or dump off, or even for an elbow jumper. And everybody on the Sixers move. Even Joel Embiid, one minute he'll be by the basket, next minute he'll be setting the screen, next minute he'll be doing the handoff, next minute he'll be at the three-point line, next minute he's taking it from the three-point line to the paint, or sometimes they even set screens for him to go into the paint to get the post. So you're going to move more. You're going to have to trust each other more, and they're going to have a fit trying to keep up with this Philly offense because they can shoot, they can get explosive, and they have star players. Joel Embiid is arguably one of the best centers in the league. If you count Anthony Davis, I have to give it to AD. But if he's not, if you count him as a forward, then Joel Embiid has an argument for being the best center in the league. He's a great defender, a great help defender, a great rotation defender, and he's a guy that can get you 20 to 30 points consistently. The only difference is that they whole team can score, and that's something that I didn't really see the Bucks really doing at the end of the day, which was scoring consistently and trying to put pressure on the Celtics. The Celtics gonna have to really trust their offense and Brad Stevens. I feel like the coaching in this series against the Bucks was definitely an advantage to the Celtics. They had more talent on paper because they was more healthier than the Celtics was. But as far as that, the coaching is not going to be as much of an advantage in this series against the Sixers because Brown can coach his ass off, and he knows the lineups, and he knows his team. Even though they dealt with a lot of injuries, they had played with each other enough, and Ben Simmons has evolved. He has got better defensively. He has got better offensively. Some games he's more aggressive than others, but he runs good plays for Ben Simmons. He runs them attacking the paint, getting live, setting screens, dropping down, good cuts, and the Celtics going to be engaged the whole time, and that's difficult to do, knowing that you have people like Saric, like Ben Simmons, like Joel Embiid, and you have the shooters too. You got to worry about so many players at one time, and the fact that you make one mistake, Ben Simmons will pick you apart. You make one mistake, Joel Embiid is going to be open, Reddick's going to be open, and that puts a lot of pressure on you. Not only that, the Celtics, they're not really a dynamic offensive team since they're beat up. I think they're going to struggle to score. They even struggle to score in this Bucks game. But the difference is Philly is more explosive and more consistent, which means if they go on these long droughts when they can't score or get enough stops to keep them in the game, or even get in transition to get them back in the game, Philly's just gonna, like you seen against Miami, they're just gonna pull away and pile up, more points on the Celtics. And if the Celtics can't respond or lock down defensively, which they did sometimes in the Bucks series, but the Bucks still was able to score. It's tough, but you can't compare all the series the same because it's different personnel, different coaches. But I'm just comparing that the Celtics can't go in with the same mentality with the Sixers that they did with the Bucks, because this is a better, deeper team, not just talent. They played that well together, and they just been flying. Even when Joel Embiid was healthy, they was winning. When he went down, they was winning. In the playoffs, they lost only one game against a team like Miami, which is kind of similar to this team, a well-coached team, a team with veterans, a team with an identity, but a team without a star. I mean, a superstar, because Al Horford is a star, and they're gonna have to rely on a lot of Tatum and Brown still. Brown got a little injury. I think he'd be fine in game one, but he struggled and in the ending of the series against the Bucks. And same with Tatum. He relies a lot on the jump shot. If he can't get to the basket, he relies on a lot of ISO heavy pull up jumpers, step back jumpers, and contested threes. Can he really do that against length that the Philadelphia 76ers have? Can Jaylen Brown score consistently being guarded by a guy like Covington, like Sarge, that can give you the size and the length, but also they're going to make you work defensively for 48 minutes. Well, he's not going to play the whole 48, but the whole team going to have to guard this team. So the shooters and the star power definitely favors the Philadelphia 76ers, and the fact that the Sixers are a long, lanky team and a great defensive team make it even harder because the Bucks are just so inconsistent defensively and offensively. And you don't have that problem with the Sixers. Joel Embiid is going to be the question. Will he be able to get Horford in foul trouble? Will Horford be able to get him in foul trouble? Is he going to be able to stay healthy for the majority of the season? Is Ben Simmons going to be aggressive, looking to attack and score because he's a little smaller at that point guard position? Is Marcus Smart? Will he come in? Will he be able to make an impact? He's back. He had a lot of defensive intensity in the Bucks game, and he made Bledsoe and even Rozier made them work a little harder. Will they have that speed advantage against Simmons as a guy that can take them in the post and dunk on them, fly on them, glide on them? They be able to distract and make him work for his basket, or will they be a defensive liability? That's a big thing because he is overpowering and oversized. Has so much size advantage over them. And another thing, how is the bench gonna play? I think that's the biggest X factor for both teams. Like I said, you have Bellinelli, you have Ersan Ilyasova, you have Markel Fultz, you have DJ McConnell. You have a lot of guys that can come off the bench and give you a lot of impact, a lot of shooting, a lot of ball handling, a lot of diversity, and a lot of different lineups you can throw out there, whether it's long and lanky or quick and fast, or even just shooting on the floor with Ben Simmons. Can the Celtics master and game plan enough to take whatever Philly has to offer and consistently be able to score and play through adversity because through the whole series? This is a young team. People said experience. They're not good enough. They don't have enough experience. They're too young. They've been going through that fight all year. And here we are winning 50 games and getting out of the first round against a top people. I think Giannis is not a top 10 player. And I live by Milwaukee. I live in Wisconsin. I definitely think he's a top 10 player, but I never thought he was a top 5 player even now. But now you have a team with a top 10 player and a top 15 or 20 player and a great shooting, and the team is built perfectly around them, and they have a great coach. That's something that I couldn't say about the Bucks. So this is going to be our toughest challenge. Even if we get out of this series and win, which is possible, I think this is going to be the toughest challenge in the East. beating a complete team with stars and great coaching. So if we able to hang around and win some of these games, it's nothing but a confidence builder at worst. Like I said, we seeing what we can get out of Rozier. We're seeing what we can get out of Tatum. We're seeing what we can get out of Brown, and we seeing how strong and resilient and how much we fight and never give up. We seen that all season getting blew out and coming back. We seen that losing Kyrie. We seen that losing Gordon Hayward and staying together, staying consistent, and trusting each other. And we was able to do that for this whole entire season. Now it's time to see, can we do it against one of the best teams, if not the best team in the East, and compete and fight and claw and try to win this series. I do have Philly winning this series in 5. I am a Celtics fan. I got to be real. I got to be realistic. I don't really think we match up well. I don't think we have an answer to all their lineups. I don't think we have enough scoring. And I think our defense will help us, but can we score the basketball? It's one thing to get stops, but if you can't score consistently, Philly is going to pile on that lead. If they get hot, win one quarter, or we go on a little drought like we did a couple times against the Bucks, I don't think we can come back and beat this Philly team like we did the Bucks, because they're more consistent, they're more poised, they're better coach. So let me know what you guys think about the Bucks. About the Celtics? Do you think they're going to win? Do you think they overrated? Do you think they overachieve, or do you think they're just a great team that's resilient and going to continue to fight, whether they're down 3-1, 2-1, or 3-3? They're going to be fighting and having a chance to win the series. Or do you think the Philly, they're playing too well, they're overconfident? Do you think the ego can hit them? Or do you think they're just going to be too big, too fast, too strong, and too dominant, and well coached and defensively minded to go in here and try to sweep this series? Like I said, this is a tough challenge. I love my Celtics because they proved and fought all year, and we was able to win the series. A lot of people picked us to lose. I thought we could win. I'm glad that we was able to beat the Bucks in the first round, even though that's my home team. So let me know in the comment section below. Check out my website at NosisPlayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Check out my Facebook page at NosisPlayground.com. Link will be in the description in the comment section below. Quinn Wade, Basketball Nosis, I'm gone. And let me know what you guys think about the series.